Hello, welcome back to Story Time with Grandma. I have a beautiful book today. It's called The Invisible Boy. It's by Trudy Ludwig, and Patrice Barton drew our picture. She's the illustrator, so thank you to both of them. The Invisible Boy. Can you see Brian, the invisible boy? Even Miss Carlotti has trouble noticing him in her classroom. She's too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie. Nathan has problems with what Miss Carlotti calls volume control. He uses his outside voice inside too much. Sophie whines and complains when she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space. Brian doesn't. When the bell rings for recess, Micah and JT take turns choosing kids for their kickball teams. The best players get picked first, then the best friends of the best players, then the friends of the best friends. Only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. I would pick Brian. JT glances in Brian's direction and, just as quickly, looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. Oh my goodness. In the cafeteria, Madison and her friends talk about her birthday party. The rope swing over the pool was awesome, says JT. Yeah, so was the water slide, adds Fiona. That was the best pool party ever. I'm so glad you guys had fun, says Madison. Everybody did except Brian. He wasn't invited. Your little guy. Oh my. At choosing time, while the other kids play board games and read, Brian sits at his table doing what he loves to do best. He draws fire-breathing dragons scaling tall buildings. Space aliens locked in intergalactic battles, greedy pirates digging for treasure, and superheroes with the power to make friends wherever they go. Look at this. Fire-breathing dragon, the alien, the crazy pirate, and the superhero. And there's our buddy Brian. On Monday morning, Miss Carlotti introduces Justin, a new student, to the class. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneak looks at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. They haven't quite made up their minds yet. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat with chopsticks. What's that? Asks Madison as she points at Justin's food. And the kids laugh, all of them. That is, except Brian. He sits there wondering which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible. Both sound kind of rotten to Grandma. The next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. Justin, I thought the bulgogi looked good. Brian. Oh, that's nice. Brian wrote Justin a very nice letter about his lunch that the kids were laughing about. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. He says, You're Brian, right? Yeah, thanks for the note. Hey, Justin, Emilio calls out from the tetherball court. You're up next. Sorry, I gotta go, says Justin. By the way, that's a really cool drawing, he adds before taking off. Oh, he drew a dinosaur. Back in class, Miss Carlotti asked the kids to team up in 2s or 3s for a special project. The kids scurry around the room to pair off. Brian heads towards Justin. I'm already with Justin, says Emilio. Find someone else. Brian looks at the floor, wishing he could draw a hole right there to swallow him up. Miss Carlotti said we can have up to 3 people in our group. We're only 2. Come on, Emilio, let him work with us. Okay, I guess. Miss Carlotti gives the class directions for the project. Your assignment is to work together to write a story about what you see in that photograph. Use your imagination and have fun. Looks like a bunch of buildings, doesn't it? Whoa, cool, says Emilio. What kind of people do you think would live in those houses like that? I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them to go with our story, says Justin. Brian smiles as he takes out his lucky pen. Oh, and the boys start working and talking, and the crooked story we made up on the spot. And it looks like they stand in front of the class and tell their story together. At lunchtime again, Brian's least favorite part of the day. Another 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everyone else but him. Brian, he hears someone shout. Hey, Brian, over here. Brian turns and sees Justin waving him over. Emilio nods at Brian as he makes room for him at the table. Cool. Maybe, just maybe, Brian's not invisible after all. His friend gives him a cookie. He says, thank you. The end. So, I think it's important to know that I tell Tracy and Riley when I drop them off at school sometimes, I always tell them, hey, make sure you say hello to a stranger today. Somebody that doesn't know you, that will be caught off guard, that, oh my goodness, did that person just say hi to me? And it just makes people feel seen. So they don't feel invisible. You don't want your friends, or just, you don't want people that maybe aren't your friends yet to feel invisible or that they're not seen. So from this book, remember, it's super easy to just reach out to somebody that you see kind of off to themselves and make them feel special. So that's Grandma's lesson of the day. And I want to say hi to Mary and Nina and Olivia, and to Bailey and Riley and Lindsay and William down in Texas. Good for you. And RJ and Royce, and to my friend Leon and Henry and Cam and Graham and Oliver and McKinley, and gosh, to all my friends. It's so good to see you back. See, we have a little storm brewing over the water. It's gonna start raining here soon, so Grandma needs to get in, but we will see you next time. And remember, be good. And remember to say hi to a stranger and make everybody feel seen. Mwah. Love you.